Okay, so welcome everybody. This is a bit of an impromptu thing that I'm doing here. Just to give you the heads up, I channeled a message that was to be read out on the 21st of this month, and which I did do at our meditation. And so now I just feel kind of inspired to really put this out now, here as a live message to you all. So I often think that live is better than recorded, even with its imperfections of things not perhaps being read out accurately. I just think it kind of works better that way. I think because of the energy, much better energy having the live voice. So we'll see what happens here. I'm just going to copy this over to Linda's page, and then I'll get this started. It takes about 20 minutes to run through, so you might want to drop in and out of this and get it at a point when you can sit down and listen to it when you're relaxed. Anyway, so look, I'll tell you what, let's not waste any more time on this. It should be on Linda's channel now, and I shall begin reading this message for you. I've just got to get some stuff out the way here, and then we begin. So, okay, before we begin, hello Kimberly, thanks for joining us. So here's this message. This is 3D working from the heart energy, and I channeled this by writing rather than sitting there and having the voice come through. So here we go. Welcome everyone. Once again, thank you all for receiving our message to you today. As always, our message will serve to inspire and give you a better understanding of the frequency field around you in order for you to receive more frequency changes that get you fully into 5D. I would like to once again recall some of our past messages, as this would serve as a background to give you a better framework as to understanding what is happening in and around you right now energetically. As we mentioned, that many of you are aware of the downloads you are receiving. These downloads currently come in the form of ringing in the ear, sometimes both ears. This ringing comes in short bursts of around 5 seconds of your time and is adjusting to the frequency in your body, to the newer, higher vibrational frequency. You will also receive a third DNA strand, which is an absolute for you to live in 5D. So this backdrop for you all now, and I shall go on to explain more about life in 5D and the implications, for there will be no eureka moment for those choosing to live in 5D, because this would cause too much fear among those who remain in 3D 5 senses modus operandi, and this could possibly lead to rioting and panic among those who still remain in 3D. Yes, the divine provides for all, and so for a short period you will witness the polarization of the two peoples, those living in 5D and those living in 3D, both occupying the same space and time. But more on this shortly. But first I'd gladly express to you more information on 5D and how beautiful it will be for you all, because 5D requires that you live from the heart center, and of course from the soul. In other words, your conscious mind will be aware and therefore will be able to function for the greater good of all life on the planet. You will also, by default, have a closer connection to the divine. You, of course, do keep your individuality, your desires and goals, but you will not feel the need to compete or feel challenged. And yes, of course, there will be disagreements and discord. This is natural and perfectly fine, as there must be yin and yang in 5D existence. It is only when you get to the higher dimensions that total existence is in the love energy. You cannot possibly ever imagine what it is like to feel real love unless, of course, you have experienced a near-death experience where you resided in the heaven frequency for a short period of time. You do not have to have an experience of an NDE, to feel the love of the divine and all those that reside in the field of consciousness, because heaven or the love energy resides in you. So, therefore, you should not look outside for something that is already within. It takes pure intention and focus to reach the place of consciousness while living on the earth plane. 5D requires certain understandings. Some examples of this are: we hear of the left wing and the right wing. As your American masters, Native American masters, point out about 5D conscious, is it requires that you must understand that the left wing and the right wing belong to the same bird. 5D requires there is no division in spiritual understanding, and therefore we look to see the breakdown and collapse of organized religion unless they move into the new frequency. Do not worry, this frequency requires only truth, so there will be no room for false prophets, and they will be revealed in a heartbeat. You will understand that the mosque, the temple and church all reside within you, and worship takes on a new interpretation. Worship, rather, will be charged to and with self-love. That is to say, to worship your divine body and soul, and by doing so, since the divine is in you, and you are therefore in the divine soul, then you will effectively be worshipping the divine. Yes, you may feel you wish to say prayers with like-minded people. This is not only acceptable but necessary for the frequency of the collective. Only it is more likely to take place in homes or local community halls and so on. You will find that there will be no hierarchy in this structure. The nearest to this system on the earth plane, in terms of religion, are the Society of Friends, or the Quakers, as they are affectionately known. Here at their ceremonies, there is no leader, but rather an elder who guides the proceedings. Do you believe that the divine is so poor that he requires you getting on your hands and knees and worshipping as obligatory? Is this not 3D egocentric thinking? We say that perhaps you are focusing your attention from the perspective of lifetime programming. Self-governance, as you will soon learn, is the way forward for you. We mentioned before in a previous message that the divine is in you as you are in the divine, and since the divine is not only the sum of all parts, but also all the parts of the sum in the universe, then by default you also are the universe. In 5D fully, the only governance is self-governance. This system can only work in 5D as in the last golden age. Yes, there will be councils to offer guidance and advice, but it will not be governance. You will be free to live as you choose if you do choose to live in this new frequency. All of this comes with a price, of course. You will be responsible for your own well-being, food, clothing, housing, work, etc. If you fear this prospect, then you are still working in the five senses 3D. You have more work to do before you become enlightened. The time of this message being delivered by this channel is designed to first be received on the 21st of December, for it is at this day in the part of the world where this channel lives that light begins to shine once more. The short dark days are over for another season, and light begins to shine forth. It does not matter which side of Mother Earth you live, because on this day, light begins to shine everywhere, simply because of the sufficient numbers of people living in the light part of Mother Earth generate energetic light for all. And so it is appropriate to talk briefly about enlightenment. Some of you have not yet understood what this means. People, you simply do not wake up one morning and find yourself enlightened. You simply cannot say, I will beat this dis-ease with my mind. I am spiritual. I can overcome this toxic medicine. Some people can, yes, of course, and in this respect, that part of them is sufficiently enlightened to do so. But many of you, sadly, are either delusional or, at best, have a certain amount of expanded awareness in a particular field to overcome a particular adversity. In order to achieve this expanded awareness, you must first be aware of the self, or svadhyaya. The practice of svadhyaya, or self-awareness, can and often take place in some areas of your life, such as work. What exactly do I mean? Well, for example, you may well be sufficiently enlightened to overcome or foresee problems and deal with them, while the rest of the workforce rests peacefully, assuming all is going to plan. At this level of enlightenment, it is more accurately described as expanded awareness. Your expanded awareness has averted a faux pas in the workplace. Enlightenment generally means not being caught up in a situation without having to consider options. The decision is made by the higher self, and so no conscious action is required. You simply will not find yourself in an adverse situation that requires adjustment, unless, of course, it is a life path. There are stages of enlightenment. It is not a one-size-fits-all. It is not the case that you are either enlightened or not, and those who believe they are enlightened are not, because an enlightened person does not question the frequency of what he or she is vibrating at. You simply know without considering it further. In much the same way, you suddenly do not consciously become aware of that you are a man or a woman. It is understood, and therefore there is no need to discuss it, or tell people, I am man or I am woman, then begin the conversation. Examples of light, lower frequency enlightenment are: you do not consider where you are born as great significance. You do not consider your gender as great significance. You do not consider the religion you were programmed into as significant. Your job or your background is largely insignificant. You understand the left wing and the right wing belong to the same bird. You understand that politics creates division, religion creates division, the current corporate world in general creates division. You find it difficult to watch violence on the streets or in the cinema. You find it difficult to witness cruelty. You will understand the borders create division. You consider other life forms as sacred. Your New World Order, or to be more exact, the new golden era, understands a planet without borders, freedom to travel without papers, medicine given with both light and sound. However, largely medicine will be redundant because the new way of life is medicine. But sometimes situations arise either through life contract or synchronicity that may require the assistance of a healer. All of this is at the lower end of enlightenment. Of course, you have further to go and much to learn. Why? Is this not why you chose to come here? Well, many of you are young souls still and have other reasons for your short time here on Mother Earth. Enlightenment is like a muscle. It needs to be used in order to retain its strength. Higher enlightenment requires more work, and we can look upon this as not growing more muscles to reach higher enlightenment, but rather expanding the enlightenment muscle. For to grow another enlightenment muscle creates division within thyself. That, by definition, is not the action of an enlightened life form. What about 4D? Have you passed this? No, it's another dimension that the planet and therefore the inhabitants are experiencing right now. It is, as you can see, the bridge between the third and the fifth, and in between, if you like to call it that. Here, many people hop in and out of the fourth, back to the third, and then back to the fourth. living in fear, then living in self-empowerment, then back to fear, isolation, doubt. That's the third. And then back to the fourth, hope, resilience, confidence. And so some, when they are comfortable with this frequency, step further into the fifth. This shift is happening very fast now. So the frequency of Mother Earth to all, including those who have not touched the earth plane, has raised sufficiently for changes to be permitted by the divine. We thank you. The prime directive has been lifted to a greater extent thanks to your frequency being raised as a combination of the collective, your own consciousness, and our help. And now because of this action, we are able to do more for you. The Council of 11 petitioned the divine, and it was agreed. You are ready, so the contract was signed. One example of this is, along with the ringing in your ears, some are now accepting light. That is to say, when you close your eyes for meditation or sleep, light would appear suddenly. You will see light that was once the darkness when your eyes were closed. Some may experience déjà vu. Others will begin to have their psychic abilities activated, allowing us to work closer with you. Some will be able to channel. Actually, déjà vu is nothing more than dimensions crossing and you realizing an experience you had, simultaneously having, or will experience in the future. There are many yous out there in the universe enjoying many experiences. So déjà vu is not to be confused with the divine. Divine intervention, usually through the work of an angel, will, for example, show you the outcome of an event that you are taking part in the now. The divine intervention provides you the opportunity to take immediate action to change the course of a pending adverse event happening to you in the now, or to change the course to get you back on your life path. Often angels are used to project you onto the path you chose when you decided to incarnate on the earth plane. In other words, the divine has given you the opportunity for self-governance. You can take it or leave it. It's your choice. It's your responsibility. Actually, the divine intervention happens more often than you think, and when you become more conscious or have expanded awareness or better intuition, you will indeed feel the touch of an angel. So, brothers and sisters, please do continue to be conscious of your actions. Your thoughts become your reality. Please do associate with people who are in your tribe. Waste no more time arguing with those in peaceful slumber. The time has come for the lions to gather. Understand that when an announcement is made by the perceived authority that may frighten you, be aware that when you begin to talk amongst yourselves in the fear frequency, you actually are manifesting black magic. They have set the intention, and you, through fear, anger, and anxiety, will manifest the desired outcome. You create the desired outcome for them. Likewise, if you must talk, look for solutions in a positive light without vengeance, then these words or announcements have no power. You can seek justice, but without vengeance. Justice for the greater good of all is acceptable and desirable. It helps maintain balance. This thought of justice, and therefore the frequency of justice, is so strong in these times that no more thought is really required by you. Your frequency has been recorded and matched. Allow those now skilled in matters of law to do their work. Better to send them healing and light. Better also to send healing and light to people who you perceive have thrown this world into chaos. Sending wrongdoers love and light, whether you are right or wrong about their alleged crime, without an emotional attachment, is part of 5D frequency. You have done your work. Others do theirs. You have other work to do for which you are more suited. Love energy conquers all. You must remain in this energy, heart energy. Love does not fear consequence. It does what is only right. This is also 5D. The daughter of God, our sister, also known as Joan of Arc, lived by this frequency. I hear you say, well, look what happened to her with the love energy. Yes, I hear you, though this is a different time, a different frequency, and you shall not experience a burning. For Jeanne d'Arc was living in 5D energy centuries ahead of her time, living from the heart energy, enlightened, conscious, and aware. She is recorded at saying at one of her trials, "If I were to see the flames now, I would hold steady everything I have said, for I am more afraid of being unfaithful to my voices than anything you can do to me." And what of these voices? St. Michael, St. Margaret, St. Catherine. Is this not the connection to the divine frequency that she experienced within her 5D? Were not these angels divine intervention to assist Joan on her life path, and as a further consequence, make provision for her name, her actions, and her faith to be remembered for generations ahead? This was not the law of unintentional consequence, but rather divine guidance. You also receive divine guidance through your guides and angels. You only need to open your heart and feel worthy of the divine connection, because after all, as we mentioned earlier, the divine is within you. So you do also have angels whispering in your ears. You simply need to learn to silence the mind to hear them. No one is left behind. Feel what they say, see what they show you from the heart, and listen from the heart. The downloads you are receiving are slowly strengthening your connection with the divine, your guides, and naturally your higher self. Everything has its time and place. Go forward, not with hope, but with knowing. Go forward, not with hesitance, but boldly. Go forward fearlessly. Do not pull back. We always was with you, are with you, and will be with you. All is well. You are strong and you are loved. So there you go. That's the message that I had. I'll be doing more readings. Thank you for your comments. I couldn't actually read them while I was reading that. Melinda, thank you for your comments. And Kimberly, you were there, you joined us as well. So I'm going to get this put up at some point. Kimberly, so truly incredible and healing to hear. Thank you for your graciously sharing this message. Yeah, look, these are not my words. These are words that were channeled. Thank you. I'm going to try and do some more channeling as soon as I get the inspiration. More and more stuff is coming through now, and I think in the new year I'm going to be doing a lot more channeling. My work seems to be taking a different place now and taking a different angle. So anyway, look, that's it for now. Thank you for joining me. I'll get this put up on replay and I'll get this put up on YouTube so that you can all hear this again. If you would like a PDF copy of this, please let me know. Private message me and I'll send you a PDF copy of the text that I just read out. In the meantime, have a great day. All is well. All will be well. And together as the collective, we are going to have a beautiful world for everyone. But we must keep in the heart energy. Speak to you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.